Chapter 7. Red crash helmets and white jumpsuits. After the movies, Tom walked home with Billy. "Tomorrow I'll roll that crawler in cornmeal and fry it like a trout." "It's not really about the taste," said Billy. "It's more the thought. When I start to eat it, even though it's smothered in ketchup and mustard or grated cheese, I can't stop thinking worm. Worm, 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 worm. Gaggles of worms in bait boxes, drowned worms drying up on the sidewalks, a worm squirming as the fish hook gorges into him, or the soggy end of a worm dangling out of a fish's mouth, robins yanking worms out of a lawn. I can't stop thinking worm." "Yeah, but if I fry it in cornmeal, it won't look like a crawler," said Tom. "I'll put parsley around it and some slices of lemon, and then you can concentrate on thinking fish. All the time you're waiting in the barn, all the time you're eating it, keep saying to yourself, 'Fish, fish, 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 fish. Here I am, eating some good old fish. Trout, salmon, flounder, perch. I'll ride my mini bike into church. Dace, tuna, haddock, trout. Wait till you hear that minister shout, 'Fish, fish, 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 fish. Fish, 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 fish. Shark, haddock, sucker, eel. I'll race my father in his automobile. Eel, flounder, bluegill, shark. We'll race all day till after dark.'" That made Billy cheer up. Think how they'd all stare. I'd rev up the aisle, zip around the front pews, down the side aisle, under the stained glass windows. My parents would kill me. Reverend would peer down over the Bible stand and cry, William, you take that engine thing out of here this minute." "Yeah, and then they'd come chasing out after us," said Tom. Billy laughed, waving their arms and yelling, and we'd lead them zigzagging around and in and out of among the gravestones and the monuments, all in the cemetery, then roar off down to the road, leaving them draped over tombs, panting and shaking their fists. "Hup, hup," yelled Tom, dancing around and boxing the air. And that Monday we'd smuggle it into class disguised as Raymond Dwelly, because he's so fat that we could hide it under our coats. And then Miss Millie, she wouldn't say anything at all. She wouldn't even say, "Excuse me." So we would just dump a whole bottle of ink over her head if she ever tried to say anything, but she wouldn't. And Mrs. Howard, well, she'd come in after us, fuming and shouting threats, and suddenly the doors of the coat closet would slam open. And then out would roar our mini bike that we brought in. And the blood would crash the helmets and the white jumpsuits. Our scarves would be streaming behind us. And we'd roar around and around the classroom while Mrs. Howard knelt among the overturned desks and chairs, sobbing helplessly into her hands. And then rum, rum, right out of there. We'd go up the stairs, stiff-arming tacklers, into Miss Simmons' office, up onto his desk. Oh, Mr. Simmons' office, up onto his desk. Brum, brum. A backfire into his face and zoom out the window as he topples backwards in his chair, and a hurricane of quiz papers and report cards. And then, crunch, landing on the driveway, we'd roar off down the highway to Bennington and join the Navy so Mrs. Howard and Mr. Simmons and our parents could never punish us. Quite the plan.